William Hill sponsors IFL TV.
I'm the man to beat Daniel Dubois. We're going to sleep.
UMAR, AHMED, IFL TV, MTK Global. We're still in New York City, joined by Darren Barker for the first time this week. Don't know why we've ignored you.
That's alright, I'm a has-been, and no one cares what I've got to say anymore. that camera, I don't know how it's coming across, but that seems very close. That's almost touching my nose, that lens.
But we're back. Darren, I think we're all still in shock at last night's events. Just talk to me about your thoughts on it.
Well, firstly, I just put a tweet out saying, you know, what a night of boxing, and it just shows you anything can happen in a tools race. That's why we love this sport so much. And though I know there's loads of people out there knocking Eddie and saying this, saying that, but me being in Madison Square Garden for the first time at boxing, you know, I think Eddie can be extremely proud of himself. The atmosphere in there was phenomenal. It was a great spectacle, and though results didn't go the way that most of us would have liked, it was still a fantastic night of boxing, and again shows why this is the greatest sport in the world.
Do you think there was something wrong with Joshua last night?
I don't know. Physically, being at ringside, he looks okay, but you just don't know what's going on mentally, do you? You know, just there was a lot of pressure. Big American debut.
Do you think Wilder Brazil added pressure as well?
Maybe. Always remember when Mike Tyson lost to Buster Douglas, he said there was an element of relief. You know, it was just so much stress being the man and having so much expectations put on your shoulders. And when he lost, he was almost over the moon. And I'm not going to say Anthony Joshua is going to be happy that he lost, but there may be an element of relief where he can sort of, wow, you know, bit of pressure's off, but look, he's going to be bitterly disappointed, and yeah, it's crazy, but fair play to Ruiz. I mean, you couldn't help but be a little pleased for him, you know, being Mexican's first ever heavyweight champion,
climbing off the
canvas, huge underdog, and to win. You know, again, I love this sport. I love boxing. I'm so proud and honoured to be part of such a great sport. I'm so glad that I was able to get in the ring and achieve what I achieved. And I just, honestly, I love boxing. I just love boxing.
Even though it didn't go the way Brits would want it last night, it reminds us why we do stick with the sport. And you know, you have the bad nights, obviously, but you know, in terms of a neutral point of view, it was incredible to watch that fight. And what a story for Andy Ruiz.
Absolutely. Again, the story is fantastic, and boxing full of amazing backstories. You know, people coming back from adversity and all different bits and pieces. And you know, again, Ruiz being a huge underdog and being Mexico's first heavyweight champion is just another one of those stories. But the atmosphere in the garden yesterday was fantastic. You know, I had goosebumps the whole night. It was just amazing, and I keep saying it, but I'm so proud to be involved in this amazing sport. That it's incredible, and you know, I know there's a lot of haters out there, isn't there? You know, just scrolling through social media today, like, I just can't believe the amount of hate out there. It's sad, really. It's sad. It's sport. You win some, you lose some. You know, especially in boxing, like I said, it's a tools race. It can happen. I think we need to get behind our fighters a little bit more. You know, I think the vast majority do, but there's so many people out there that knock fighters, and I see AJ's getting a bit of stick, and Kelly getting a bit of stick for the draw and things. You know, have a day off.
I know it might be hard to say for you, but what do you think is going through the minds of Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, Dylan White currently?
Well, in my opinion, if I was one of those guys, I'd be gutted, because we've seen vulnerabilities with AJ in the past, you know, but he's always come through those testing moments. But now, having lost that fight, there's any of the big fights out there, it's not as big as it potentially could have been. Like I say, it is a tools race and these things can happen, but AJ Wilder, both undefeated, is a bigger fight than it isn't now if it happens because of that loss. But look, who knows what they're thinking. I know it's a very selfish sport, boxing, it's an individual sport and you've got to worry about your own career, but I don't know, I see Tyson Fury did a really nice,
very nice
tweet. It was classy in compared to Wilder's, but look, it's certainly shook up the heavyweight division, that's for sure. I've just got to get Dave Allen the shot with Ruiz now.
Talk about Dave in a bit, but we expect that rematch to happen between Joshua and Ruiz.
Yeah, of course.
If Joshua were to lose again, though, where does that put him?
Exactly. That's the question. That is the question, because he's certainly going to take the rematch, isn't he? He's not going to have a warm-up fight, I don't think, because then Ruiz goes down different avenues potentially, and he has a fight. And what's to say Ruiz wouldn't lose, and he might not get that shot. So the wise thing for me would be to get straight back in there and try and get those titles back as soon as possible. A second loss to Ruiz though would be devastating for Anthony Joshua. I don't know how he could come back from that, and if he would come back from that, where do you go? It's going to be interesting to see what pans out in the coming weeks.
All right, moving on to the White Rhino. I've seen him during this fight week. Looks in phenomenal shape. I don't think I've ever said that at Dave Allen before. Yeah. How have you managed it?
It's been easy, really, because I've not had to force him to do anything. He's responded so well to the coaching that I've been doing with him. The work ethic is ridiculous, honestly. And that shows in his condition and his shape. I mean, he's 12 rounds fit now, which was one of the reasons we could bring him over here and just sort of tick over here and enjoy it and get a taste for the big atmosphere, big fight atmosphere, and just get him around these big fights. But yeah, look, I've been so impressed with him, and he's got a big fight on the 20th of July against David Price, which I see him coming through, and then I want to put him in with one of the bigger names, because I think Dave Allen at 27, with the improvements he's showing, is a nightmare for anyone. He really is, with his durability, his chin, and now his desire and his hunger. Honestly, he's going to be a hard night's work for anyone out there.
Darren, if he comes through that David Price fight, Joseph Parker's put pen to paper and match him. Now at the press conference where they announced Parker to match him, Dave Allen's name was actually mentioned amongst potential opponents.
And rightly so, I think. Be it former world champion Lucas Brown, be it an aging Lucas Brown, and one that weren't in great shape. The fight previous was getting knocked out by Dillian White. Regardless, he's still beating a former world champion. Goes and meets David Price, a former Olympian who's got fantastic amateur pedigree and was touted to be the next best thing. Obviously suffered some big losses, but still a win for David Allen, where he has no right in doing so, is another big win for him. A huge win. And then after that, everyone in the top 15 really has a chance of winning. Beating each other, really. So I'd rather have a fight where it's a bigger risk reward. Parker's a name that has been thrown around, right? And I think it's a tough fight. It's a very tough fight.
Because he's technically very good, Joseph.
He's a good fighter. He's tough as nails. And he can move, which isn't ideal for Dave Allen. But then there's Pulevs and Povetkins, who people will laugh and go, "You're mad if you think you should put Dave Allen in with them guys." But again, 27-year-old Dave Allen, who's fit as a fiddle, is durable and sort of regenerated, against a 38, 39-year-old, Pulev 38, Povetkin 39. if Dave Allen's still coming forward, moving his head, throwing shots, you know, busy after 6 rounds, and you're Povetkin 39 who's achieved what he's achieved, I think if he gets it right on the night, he could beat one of those. But again, look, we're not looking past David Price because he is still
very dangerous.
A very dangerous fighter, one of the biggest punchers out there, and a fighter that needs this win. Because I think if David Price doesn't win this fight, it's probably curtains.
Darren, thank you very much for your time. When are you travelling back?
We're going back tonight, so I'm going to go and pack now.
Same. Checkout's at like half an hour.
Yeah. Mr. Beckett is leaving at 3, so I'm going to have some lunch with him, plot up in a pub, I think. And I'm a little bit worried. Apparently it's going to be thunderstorms later, and tornadoes and shit like that. So
mate,
I'm a
the
little
flight
bit,
not better get cancelled.
I'm not. I fucking rather it get cancelled than be whizzing around in a fucking tornado. So yeah, I'm a little bit. I'm not even at a bad flight really, but the thought of going out in fucking thunder clouds ain't ideal. But again and again, a great night of boxing. I love boxing. I love boxing. It's brilliant.
Darren, thank you very much
Cheers,
for your time,
mate.
and best of luck with David ahead of July 20th.
Nice one. Everyone get behind him. He's a top bloke. He's one of your own, and yeah, let's get behind the White Rhino.
Cheers, Darren.
William Hill sponsors IFL TV.
I'm the man to beat Daniel Dubois. We're doing a sleep.